thank you all for coming. My name is Rebecca Curry, and I'm the Public Services Supervisor here in Special Collections and Archives, which is hosting our program tonight. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping notes. So those of you who are performing get a maximum 5-minute slot, but if you are a little over 5 minutes, we'll allow it. If you're under 5 minutes, that's fine. We have some refreshments in the back of the hall, so please help yourself to cookies if you would like some. There's also a restroom in the back of the hall. So I will now introduce our featured artists. They're both ESU alumni. They started a band in 2020, and last year they released their first album, The Other Side, which you can find wherever you like to get your music streaming. He's Tom Forbes, she's Teresa Mix, and together they're Tapestry.
Talk to wrote that one for my mom and dad and dedicated it to them. So
But why did you dedicate it to them?
why?
Why?
Because I did.
Or wasn't there like a special occasion or
Oh, I
something?
think it was their 50th.
Yes. Words get confused. Deep feelings I desire to say to you. They always seem to miss the mark. The true meaning lying in my heart. Thoughts written down, but each one blurred. All lost after the first 3 words. What do you say after I love you? What can you add to make it more clear? What do you say after I love you? 3 little words, a gift so sincere, just loud enough, only you can hear. Oh, what do you say after I love you? Giving up secrets that might be refused. No doubt what I wanna say to you. Afraid my words will be torn apart.
variety of covers. We do a lot of originals. We do have a CD out and all the other side.
Yes. And anybody that wants a sticker, come see me after.
Oh, what'd you say?
A sticker.
A sticker?
A sticker. Just a sticker.
Just a okay. All right. Well, our portion is done at this point, so.
There will now be an intermission of several seconds while I set up our sound equipment. All right, so you all can adjust the mic stand height if you need to. This just twists, raises up and down. And first on the list, we have Kevin Rabus.
Thanks so much. So I'm going to read one that I read a little earlier today so I can get some practice. And I'm going to time myself so I don't do more than 5 minutes. So good to be here among poets and writers and artists and musicians. Great to be among the folks I see as my group. Fall Up. Gunkel and I had this big mirror between us, hefting it into the back of his blue pickup truck. Gunkel's real slow, a giant in blue jeans and green Crocs, wearing a white t-shirt with battery acid on it. His glasses are thicker than my thumb. So we grab hold of this monster mirror, and it glints, and we both look into that mirror, noticing the clarity of that blue sky, and those green sycamore leaves reflected so perfectly, it appears you could just dive on into that mirror and sink into the sky. And we think the same thing. You could fall up, Gunkel says, and just keep on falling. Nothing would stop you. And that was the way of it. Gunkel's mind was now my mind, and I was in that mirror, falling on up through those white smoke clouds, headed towards an orange sun. Gunkel and I stacked box bed springs on top of that mirror, and some branches from out front, and I could hear that large mirror crack. But I think Gunkel and I could still see it, that vision of sinking into sky, drowning with only the sun to hold us up.
Well, we're supposed to snap.
Yeah, whatever you think. So this is a basketball poem. I kind of like basketball because it's called Shot Inside. I went up for the ball and was caught in the flutter of hands, brown and tan and white, like a bunch of pigeons up from the sidewalk and into flight. And I couldn't see and I couldn't hear, and I went with where I remembered the hoop was, red and round like a ring to another world. Sing on through, and who knows where you might wormhole to. And when I came down, all I saw were legs and red and white striped socks and shoes and the amber floor coming up, and I crumpled, soft, unhurt. I looked up and I saw the ball spiral in like water whirlpooling down a drain, but in slow-mo, out through the white checkered net, the ball came bright orange like a ripe fruit, bounty from the basket, harvest, a cornucopia. Tired, I stuck a fist into the air. I'd done it, and unplanned, a hand came down and helped me up. So this one's kind of about herding little kids, about my niece Autumn when we went to on a little trip into town in Cedar Falls.
Hurting or herding?
Herding like cats. No, we're not going to hurt little kids, so that's not on
Just
the
wanted to
program.
clarify that.
Yeah, herding kids like cats. So this is called In Cedar City. Autumn 9 is small, my sister's kid, and we are hiking the sidewalk, snow and slush, in Cedar City with her two older brothers, while their dad gets shoulder surgery in the hospital on the hill. I say, "Okay, Autumn?" And she says, "Yes." "Your feet wet?" "No." "Okay, good." And we walk that mile in the white-gray slush mush and get burgers, then coffee for me so I can keep up. At the lights, I walk last in our little line of ducks. Autumn is slow and does a kind of dance as she walks, her hands out and up and dawdles. And I have to say, "Come on, Autumn, keep up with your brothers. Traffic lights don't wait." And I like to listen to and write about Charlie Bird Parker, the genius jazz saxophonist from KCK and then KC Mo. And so this is me listening to recordings and writing. It doesn't much matter that the sound quality is crap. Parker still sings like some enlightened bird on a branch, prepared to sing all night and until the sun comes up. Who else is out there is listening to Charlie Parker tonight? Like someone with a hand on the knob of a ham radio. Together we listen for bird song late, the morning songbirds all long gone to bed. And I think that's where I'm going to stop. So thanks for being a part of things. And I'm going to hand it back to Rebecca.
Up next, we have Lisa Moritz.
So I write a lot of songs. I have a couple CDs, and I'm kind of known for my heartbreak songs. And so this is gonna be so weird in this key. So I know it's in there somewhere. It should be on the outside pocket. Is it behind the case? Did it fall on the ground? There it is. Oh, good. Then I knew I had it. Thank you, Tom, for digging around in my stuff. I should have just had it with me. All right, this will be better in this key. All right, so this is my newest heartbreak song, and it's called What Was Never Mine. I would have followed you right down to the deepest ocean blue. I would have stayed all of my days if only you had asked me to. I guess you got what you wanted, your beach, your freedom and your time. I'm here in a house that's haunted with the ghost of what was never mine. The club on Main Street has shut down. That place we listen to the blues. The place where every soulful song says what you love is what you lose. I feel you standing there behind me, your chest pressed warm against my spine, your arms curved around me like a cradle, rocking me in what was never mine. Oh, my love, what a simple principle you've shown, how all that was could be held but never owned. All those days out on the lake, our skin honey in the sun, all those Fridays at the bar, dollar draws for everyone, these photographs pressed onto pages, can't capture what I'd hoped to bind. There's just a lens locked on our happy faces, and a frame around what was never mine. What a shame you were never mine. All the same, I wish that you were mine.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Anna Hovius.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. I'll be sharing a series of tanka. So tanka is a form of Japanese poetry, and it's one of the oldest forms of Japanese poetry. And essentially, I'm going to share with you a poem about prairies. I love writing about nature, and I wanted to share that sort of feeling as an ecologist or someone studying ecology that I get from being surrounded by nature. So this poem is called Prairie Burning Soul. Burn, blue stem, and rise. Germinate roots in clay soil, and let soot set in. Face me in spirit. Keep me confined to you, prairie. I see you rising, above a healing flame. Your figure forms. I see its distinct outline. My index finger traces faint contours. Tangerine flame, rise. You wither away, yet I see you above the hearth. Soothe the scorched earth with your sable kiss, embers dancing. Dusk falling on land. Ash rises, embers fading. Into soliloquies, performed by dreaming grasses. For you, my prairie land love. And that's all.
Up next, we have Sophie Bilby.
Hi, my name is Sophie. I'm going to be reading a few poems today. This first poem is titled Home. I used to think home was a house where you sat around the dinner table under a yellow light talking about your day before saying goodnight. I used to think home was a place with a bed and a desk and a lamp in a room you longed to return to each night. I used to think home was a dream you imagine yourself in, sitting on the back porch watching the kids chase the dogs. That's what I thought until I met you. And I knew what it felt like to have your arms wrapped tightly around me, lovingly, to breathe deeply against your cotton t-shirt, inch closer and close my eyes. I never knew home until I glanced up looking for your eyes, noticed a gentle smile, and felt the softest kiss against my forehead. I never knew home. I never missed home until our last embrace, when I said goodbye, turned around, and even as I walked inside and tossed myself under the covers, I thought, this isn't home anymore. This next one is called Suffer in Silence. No one tells you the ease with which one slips off the edge of the kind, forgiving path and into the mud. Into a deep, dark sludge that leaves you scrambling and wrenching at your limbs, keeping you occupied like a pecking bird's endless tapping, which disturbs an otherwise silent night. Akin to a rabbit's twitching nose and thumping feet, snapping its head to and fro, unaware of its own gestures. Kindred to the steady knocking branch unforgiving and violent toward the weathered windowsill, beating both rhythmic and incomprehensible patterns into the shabby wood. If only I had known the resolve with which it pulls you down. Beginning only with a drumming fingertip, a scratching nail, a shaking leg, a glance left, right, a thought and another, then endless. A breath, deep then shallow, whilst teeth scrape lip, and drumming continues, finding patterns and no patterns, structure emerging in chaos, and suddenly, toes don't feel as though they belong in the shoe, and now, stuck in the mud which has no bottom, what am I to do? This last one is called City in the Sky. I arrived to La Paz, Bolivia, after 24 hours of travel and 4 long sleepless flights through airport gates and security checks to the highest administrative capital in the world. My friend's family waited outside. Bienvenidos, their sign read. 6 of us crammed into an SUV built for 4, headed for the city. It so happened to be World Cup Day. We had our blue jerseys on as Argentina and France played in the background. Announcers spoke Spanish faster than I could catch. The ride was bumpy. Perros dashed in front of the car. Teleférico lines ran above us. Dile que estamos yendo por el shortcut. We're taking a shortcut, her dad said. We drove up and down narrow streets filled with fast cars, motorcycles, and trucks, swerving left and right, leaving but inches between one another. We passed a carniceria selling meat, a bright pink banner pointing to the libreria, salteñas in hot cases, and people dashing across the street without even turning their heads. It was difficult to take it all in. Until, oh my God, we rounded a corner and beneath us I took in a city like nothing I'd ever seen. Specks of color suggested hundreds of thousands of buildings, homes, and businesses nestled in a mountain valley under a bright blue sky, filled with enormous puffy clouds, casting shadows upon mountains that stretched beyond the horizon. The air was thin, but the city was vast. Bright reds, oranges, yellows, and blues speckled the rooftops. Millions of people at 11,893 feet above sea level. Wow, was all we could say. Her dad chuckled. An hour more of bumps and wows went by until we finally came to a stop. The ground sloped 45 degrees. It felt unnatural to walk at such an angle. But I guess we're not in Kansas anymore, I thought to myself. That night, we sat around the dinner table, ready to enjoy our caldo de pollo. Her father asked me to pray. I was only a visitor, but I came prepared. Cristo nuestro pan de vida, ven y bendice esta comida. Por los dones de tu amor, gracias te damos, Señor. Amen. I looked up and they smiled. Thank you.
Next we have Luke Johnson.
If there are no objections, I'll be doing stand-up. Just want to say for the record, it feels great to be here in Emporia. But I wanted to have something I've noticed about male models. If you look at, yes, I will be skewering them. No one is safe from my wrath. If you look at menswear shop sites as much as I do, folks, you notice something. Like for some reason, male models only have 5 very specific poses. Think about this for a second. Tell me if this has ever seemed familiar. Adjusting cufflinks, checking watch, both hands in pockets while looking up in the distance. And my personal favorite, hand to chin, trying to look thoughtful. I just have a feeling that there was some board members at some modeling agency that said, okay, we need to come up with some poses for male models. Where are the board members? What do you have? Okay, well we've got 5. We've narrowed it down to 5. What are they? Hands on hips, both hands in pockets, fingers to chin, hands on hips, and checking watch and adjusting cufflinks. I love it, but sir, when we need, shut up, Carl, nobody asked you. And since we aren't a library, I thought it'd only be appropriate that if I had shared some words with you. Because there are some phrases in the English language that don't really make sense to me, like necktie. A tie can only go around the neck, people. The term necktie is completely meaningless. I mean, look at hot water heater. Hot heated. At least last time I checked. Does it? What is it? It's a cold water heater. That's what it is. That's all it is. It is a cold water heater. Hot water does not need to be heated. And like tuna fish. Prepare to have your mind blown, folks, but tuna, all right? It's a fish. The term tuna fish means nothing. I mean, I would not go into a store and ask for cow beef or pig pork. I mean, the butcher would probably throw you out. That's all I have. Thank you and good night.
Well, that is everyone we had on the list, so unless anyone else wants to step up. Well, in that case, thank you all for coming, and thanks again to our featured artists. Before we go, I do want to let you all know about some other events we have coming up. So on September 30th, that would be the Saturday after this one, in conjunction with the theme of our exhibit, we will be having a Great Migration Film Festival. So we'll be showing 3 films highlighting Black history. It will be A Raisin in the Sun, The League, which is a documentary about Black professional baseball, and the 2012 musical film Sparkle. So that will be starting down here on the first floor at 10 a.m., going through to the afternoon. Also, save the date, we have the Emporia Writers Group coming on October 25th. So, thank you all again and good night.